Hello, everyone, and welcome to DCM, Doritos, Connections, and Mountain Dew, your local favorite video game talk show. I'm your host, Howard Miller.
And I'm David Scrivani.
And let's get back to part 3, which is going to feature the rest of Day 2 and Day 3 of E3 and our coverage of it.
Yeah.
We are doing a very good job. We're very sweet boys for doing this. Make sure to add us on Twitter saying, "Good job, buddy."
Please give us
Subscriptions, likes.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Follows. Do all those anyway.
I can't think of the word. Never mind.
Yeah, send us memes or something.
Yeah, that works.
Take like a freeze frame of this video of like us doing a wacky face like in between frames,
Yeah.
and just add us. I'll make it our profile picture for like 2 hours. Okay, so. We spent too long talking about Microsoft in the last episode. Of course, if you want to see the last episodes, click on the channel, subscribe, scroll down. You have a hand. Use it.
That's kind of ableist, Howard.
That's true. But saying anyone's stupid is also ableist. So stop being stupid.
I was talking about the hand thing, but
I'm still technically right. There's also a playlist with all of our episodes, and I even put cards in our YouTube video if you're on our channel, not MMTV, where you can click on it and there'll be videos. So you're covered. There's no way to not see the first 2 parts.
You have no excuses.
There's literally no excuse if you go, hey, where's the Microsoft one? I will have an obnoxious, whiny fit like I am having now. But now...
But probably worse. You don't want to see him any worse than this, don't you?
Yeah, I know.
Believe me.
He knows. That's why I have a lot of bruises right... Cutting this out! But now, time for me whining even more.
Oh, boy. And for me to whine as well. Because
we are following the last presentation of Day 2 with legendary Japanese company Square Enix. They are known for such franchises as Kingdom Hearts and The Legend of Mana, but more importantly, Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, which confusingly enough had presentations for both series a couple months ago. So, what do they even have for E3? Let's find out. We start off with the first 20 minutes of this about 40-minute presentation with another Marvel game.
that was 20 minutes long.
Yes, it was. I timed it.
Oh, God.
They showed a trailer, a second trailer, and then an extensive gameplay demo of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
It looks like the Avengers game. A very boring and generic third-person action shooter. I don't care about it. I saw a bunch of people, I'm going to say cope posting, saying the designs in the game are better than the movie. Shut up. Be quiet. No one asked you. Know your place. Trash. Also, you can't actually play as all the Guardians.
Yeah,
you can only play as Star-Lord.
Which, what's the point? What's the point of playing a game based around a team if you can't play as the rest of the team?
Yeah, honestly, why you didn't make it like... I mean, there's a million 4-player co-op shooters that have been announced so far. Why couldn't you just make this one of them?
I don't know.
Why? I don't get it.
Because doesn't their Avengers game have online co-op capability?
Do you think I remember things about Avengers?
Fair, but like I'm pretty sure that's a thing. I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure. That or, probably the budget was cut because of how bad Avengers did. Which, speaking of Avengers, they also provided us with the roadmap for more Avengers content, including the Wakanda expansion for Black Panther, the character that should have been in the base game. Isn't that wonderful? There's still no plans to also release Spider-Man off of PlayStation.
Well, here's my thoughts on Marvel's Avengers. Apparently, there was some new bug that just kind of puts your IP address out in the open. I think that's all you need to say about Avengers.
Yeah, so you can't stream Avengers ever again until they fix it.
Yep. Because then you'll just dox yourself.
Yeah, and for those of you who know, never ever show anyone your IP address.
Yeah.
Never. Never. I know there are some not internet savvy people who watch us, but just know if you show your ISP online, it's like showing your credit card information.
Your social security.
Worse.
Yeah.
Okay? It's about on par on bad levels of bad. And the game shows it to you during gameplay, and you can't shut it off.
Yep.
So these Square Enix Avengers games are looking fire, man.
Game of the year.
We also have our next one, Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster, which is a remaster of all the classic Final Fantasies from 1 through 6. Something
I didn't hear about this.
people have been begging for because they just want basic ports of the first 6 games. They're doing it a pixel remaster. I mean, the remaster part isn't really necessary, but whatever. Here's why you didn't hear it. PC and phone only.
Phone?
Yep. Because I don't know if you know this, but most of the Final Fantasy games already got remastered for the phone.
Oh.
The Final Fantasy VII port on the PlayStation stores and the Xbox stores, that's a phone port.
Oh.
That's a port from the phone.
Well then.
They, for some reason, want all the old Final Fantasies on the phone.
Why?
Do you really think I know? Because they've been doing this for 15
should
years.
know, Howard.
I
You
want to
should
know.
know.
I just want to play Final Fantasy VI. That's the best one. But in other news, we have a Legend of Mana HD port of the 1999 PlayStation Classic. It has better graphics, a new soundtrack, only on PlayStation and Switch. Again, weird. I don't know why they're just picking and choosing consoles like it's a dartboard. But you know what? Who cares? So far, it's the first decent looking thing that doesn't have a weird caveat. So we're keeping this one. We're keeping this one. We then had a lot of really stupid licensed phone games. I think there was like 2 Final Fantasy ones. There was like a Final Fantasy crossover. A lot of their IPs are getting phone games. I know there's a lot of people who play games on their phones. I'm not one of them, so I don't care wasting 5 minutes to watch a bunch of trailers for phone games I'll never play.
Why would you bring phone games to a video game conference?
Maybe if this was something like Apple Arcade, which is a very, very good thing because like you can like live, like, you know, it's like PlayStation now where you can stream games but only it's on your phone, or like Xbox's cloud gaming. But these are just like phone games. One of them's a tie-in to a game I don't even know if they own. It's very weird. Again, and we also have another one of Life is Strange Remastered, which is a graphical remaster of Life is Strange 1 and the didn't sell well prequel, Life is Strange Before the Storm. I don't think they changed the voice acting or the soundtrack. It's mainly a graphical update. I'm not a fan of it at all. It looks a lot like Life is Strange 2. Life is Strange 2 looks beautiful, by the way. But the thing about Life is Strange 1 is that it had a beautiful water-painted, like all the colors were like water-painted textures. The only issue I had with the graphics were that the eyes looked like glassy. They were like waxy and glassy, kind of gross. They did fix that, but now a lot of the colors are flat. It doesn't pop out as well.
Fun.
Like a lot of the textures lose the watercolor looks, so like it's more solid colors. It's fine. If you're a Life is Strange fan who probably didn't buy Life is Strange 2, because I don't think most people did, this would be a good way to catch up on the series. I'm personally surprised they're remastering Before the Storm, because I don't even know if Life is Strange fans like it, because I think there's a huge argument with the community on whether or not they like it.
I bought it like 3 or 4 years ago for like $5. Have not touched it.
Well,
and I liked the first Life is Strange.
you're not missing much, because actually, total aside.
Oh, I should hold on before you.
Yeah.
I should stress this was the deluxe edition that has the bonus episode for $5.
Yeah, I didn't play the bonus episode, but I did play the 3. However, we're not stopping with Life is Strange Remastered, because we got another trailer for Life is Strange True Colors.
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I don't care.
no one cares. It looks awful. The story looks awful. Look, it looks pretty though.
Yeah.
Looks beautiful. Looks beautiful. But up next, we have the final announcement. The big kahuna. The thing everyone wanted. Strangers of Paradise. Final Fantasy Origins. A prequel to the first Final Fantasy game. That looks horrible. Graphically, everything looks bad. It's a Dark Souls-like game where you play as the main character of Final Fantasy I, who looks nothing like any of the times he's been designed. He looks like the guy from Infamous. I'm going to show a picture of what he's supposed to look like and what he does. All the designs don't mesh together. Mm-hmm. The gameplay looks okay. And it looks like, I don't know, it just looks like a mess. Who wanted this?
I don't know.
Who wanted this?
I really could not tell you.
I understand they're milking Final Fantasy because Final Fantasy VII Remake is making the cheddar, okay? I get it. They're doing what they did when, in the early mid-2000s with milking Final Fantasy VII with everything you got. But this isn't even part of the Final Fantasy VII milking. This is just a random game that no one wanted.
Yeah.
You didn't show off Final Fantasy 16.
This is the thing where all the chaos thing comes from, right?
Yeah. Because it's like DMC Devil May Cry level dialogue of him screaming things he wants. It's him screaming, Chaos! And you know it's a prequel, so he's not going to kill Chaos because you kill Chaos in the first game. It's so bad. And I don't know about you, David. Looking at this list, this is awful.
Yeah.
This is awful.
Yeah.
Even the good stuff, they ruin it. Like the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster being PC and phone only instead of just an everything release. Half of it was just Marvel garbage. Mm-hmm. And then I feel safe giving this an F. Because, they botched everything that could have been good.
I'm going to be generous. I'll give him a D.
Okay, but you got to explain why it's a D.
Because I think people I gotta put this into words. I do like the aesthetic that Guardians of the Galaxy is going for.
But is it worth spending 20 minutes watching it at a 40-minute presentation?
No. It's not.
That's what I'm saying, is that presentation-wise, this was awful. I don't care if all the things are good.
That's a fair point.
Half of it was Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's a fair point.
And, the games themselves, Legend of Mana is fine, Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster is fine, Life is Strange Remastered is fine, Life is Strange True Colors, if that is your thing, that is fine. Everything here is fine. Mm-hmm. But half of it was Marvel stuff.
Okay.
And there was only one Marvel game. One. The rest was just DLC for a game that came out a year ago. And it felt like they wasted our time.
All right. Screw it then. F.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You've convinced me.
You can like it, sure, go ahead. We're not the arbiters of everything, okay?
Yes, we are.
Okay, all right. But that was entirely disappointing. That was a joke. 20 minutes on Guardians of the Galaxy.
But we're not done with the disappointment yet.
Welcome to day 3. There was a lot of stuff. There was an indie showcase, and as much as I'd like to talk about indie showcase, I knew literally nothing was going on there. I didn't know the PC showcase, so we're going to go with the safe big presentation of Capcom. Now, we all know Capcom. In fact, there's a video that's coming out soon with us talking about Resident Evil 8 in production, because we love that game. I loves me some Capcom.
Yeah.
Resident Evil, Street Fighter, Devil May Cry. Those are my jam.
Yeah.
They are a great developer. So let's see what they have.
Nothing.
Shut the spoilers.
Speaking of Resident Evil Village,
Yep, it is doing great.
yeah, so great in fact that they're doing DLC.
Also, they are still working on the, I guess, game that exists and comes with your copy of Resident Evil Village. They're still working on Reverse.
Wait, they're still. What do you mean they're still working? Is it not out? Oh. So they packaged it with Village.
I think they gave you like a beta, and the game's not done yet.
I think they gave you the game. I don't think it was the beta. I think it was the full game if you bought Village. I haven't touched it because I don't care.
I also found out that Resistance and Reverse are 2 different games.
What's Resistance?
That was the multiplayer game that came with 3 remake.
What is it?
Again, I couldn't tell you. It's you could play as Resident Evil characters and do missions, kind of like Operation Raccoon City.
Okay. And then Reverse is like the 5v1 thing, right?
I think.
Where you can like become monsters from Resident Evil and something.
Really think? I don't know.
I don't know. I've seen gameplay of people playing as Nemesis and the Tyrant from Resident Evil 2.
Are you sure the Nemesis wasn't Dead by Daylight footage?
You know, who knows?
We also got some more. We also got our first game announcement in our half-hour presentation of Monster Hunter Stories 2, where it's more like Pokemon instead of actually hunting monsters.
That's
not bad.
It's less that, but like that's basically what Pokemon is. You are hunting Pokemon.
That's true.
Pokemon does stand for pocket monsters, so you know.
Yeah, but it's coming out on the Switch. So and because of that, the other game on the Switch, Monster Hunter Rise, is getting some DLC, including a crossover event with Monster Hunter Stories 2. And our final announcement is the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles coming out in July with more Ace Attorney content. Not as good as Ace Attorney versus Sherlock Holmes, but I'm not going to argue with them because Ace Attorney is a pretty solid franchise.
Yeah. I missed that announcement, actually.
Yep. You know what? I feel safe to also give this one an F because they had nothing. Remember when I said bullying segment? I don't want to.
Again, this is not the news episode. This is the bullying episode.
This is the bullying episode. Because they also had nothing. Mm-hmm. They had nothing. And spoiler alert, they put Monster Hunter Stories 2 in the direct.
Oh, did they?
Yes. So the only technical game announcement is Ace Attorney Chronicles.
Had they actually said anything about Resident Evil Village, other than the fact that it's getting DLC? Had they given any details? I know they probably don't have any details, but had they given some details, maybe this would have been like a D. Maybe even a C.
Maybe.
But you can't. I don't understand the thought process behind announcing that you're doing something, but not having absolutely zero information on that thing. It's like going, hey, I'm doing a Star Wars movie. And that's it. It's like, okay, cool. What's it about? Oh, I don't know. I'm just doing a Star Wars movie.
It's like Nintendo if they made a new Pokemon game and someone said, oh, cool, you doing anything else with this? We're adding a new Pokemon. And then they just kind of dip. It's like, wow, thanks, cool. Anything else? Mm-mm.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't mention anything about the Resident Evil 4 remake, honestly.
Because it's in development hell. Because right now the people who make the RE remakes in Capcom are fighting it out of what they want. So like, of course they'd show nothing for that. It's very sad. They have nothing. They had a cute little video about Street Fighter V esports, but they didn't show.
But no one cares about esports.
No one. I mean, we personally don't. But-
and we're the only people who matter, so,
Exactly.
no one cares.
But there's still 2 characters in Street Fighter V left before they make 6, which is Akira from rival schools and a mystery character. Not only did they not show off the mystery character, they still have not showed us anything about Akira, which they could have done there. But they didn't. So, yeah. Another
F.
disappointing day. Two stinkers back to back on days. It's not looking so good. Not looking so good at all, Dave.
Nah.
What are we gonna do? Except have next episode we move on to day 4 with Nintendo and Bandai Namco.
And I think finally we'll get something good.
We'll finally get something good. Sorry for being so negative this episode.
To quote the great Gordon Ramsay, delicious. Finally, some good fucking food.
I'm Howard.
And I'm David.
We'll see you next week.